Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good morning and a great summer. And as you see in the thumbnail, uh, two dirty detectives that were trying to get me in the mix of shaking down. Just they wanted information about who was doing what and what they knew a lot, but they wanted hardcore facts. So I don't know if you saw the other video. I did it a while back when I started my channel. When Batman and Robin detectives, and if they're still living, I think everybody's passed away because it's a million years ago. But they had illegally searched. I beat a case. I was in a car on the east side, and I had a lot of marijuana, and they just bum rushed me, and I beat the case. So they were pissed off. They were pissed off about that because that was retaliation against me, because I told them I knew a lot of the guys that were running stuff, but I didn't participate it, and they wanted facts. You know how they work, and I had refused. That's the backstory of that. So they were aggravated, and they were watching me, and they just illegal search and seized the stuff, and in retaliation, and I beat it. And then that was the backstory of that, because my landlord in my building, there was a big Puerto Rican family that came from New Jersey and New York, and they came up to the west side, and they had legitimate houses, and they were landlords, and they did businesses. But one of the family members I lived over, and he was a police officer. Imagine that. He was a police officer, and of course he had his fingers on the pulse of everything that went on. And we did a couple things together in my apartment. He was stashing things, but then it got out of hand, and he was going too hog wild. He was going too crazy, because they had the keys to my apartment. I lived over them. There was a storefront on the bottom. He lived in the back, and I lived over him in the back. He's got carte blanche to coming into my apartment, doing frivolous things while he's still in his police uniform. And I didn't like it. I didn't like that shit. And then he was doing stuff behind my back. And, I wasn't any pushover, but I really didn't want to have some conflicting words with him, because who knows where this stuff is in my apartment. And if he gets pissed off, he's just going to tell some detective, oh, I got intel on my tenant, and he's doing this. And then they got all this weight of drugs, who knows, coke, heroin, and everything else. So it was a little crazy, and I don't have anything against the police force. All right. I just want to set that record straight, because that's all there is to it. People talk a lot of shit, but when somebody's crawling through your window, who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? Your buddy that was bashing the police force? Who are you going to call? You got a gun? Can you defend yourself? So, I those detectives were robbing a lot of drugs off the drug dealers and not turning it all into evidence. And then they were looking for a distribution outlet to sell them drugs. And these dudes were infamous. They were infamous for their tactics and their deals. And if you were doing something on the block and you seen their car go by, you turned and went the other way. You just don't want any interactions with them. A lot of trouble. They were worse than the criminals. They were stealing from, arresting, shaking down, and they got exposed thereafter a little later on and everything, and all the shit hit the fan. But I didn't want to get caught in a trap, and I mean, I was just trying to do my own little hustle under the radar with marijuana, and yeah, they were always nosing around and everything else, and people got to realize, yeah, there's good, fundamentally sound police officers and detectives and everything else, but that money's the. I knew a guy that got busted. He was a crazy guy. Maybe I mentioned it in another video. He was unstable. We were on good terms. He was psychopath crazy, but he was high ranking, and he had a lot of power, money behind him, and he married into that family. He married into that family of my landlord, who was a police officer. They had 13 brothers and sisters or whatever. They busted him one time for how much ever weight of cocaine and heroin maybe. And he goes and tells the district attorney, and I believe the FBI, that no, there wasn't 16 ounces, there was 36 ounces. Like, he's incriminating himself. And somehow, I'm just guessing, somehow that went away. He came out into the street. When they come, he was naked in the street with a gun, and they were closing in on him, and it was a big crazy scene. And a month later, we're all playing basketball, and here he comes, and it's like, I don't know how you beat those cases. And I mean, those are no bail cases unless they're $1 million bail. But he was a colorful guy. I got along with him and everything. He wanted me to do some things for him, but it was like, nah, I am not messing with no powdery substances. A little marijuana, and that's that. I'm not a tough guy that wants to go to prison for 20 years and all that crazy shit. No. If I don't have money, I'll stay broke. Okay, I'll stay broke. I'll eat bologna sandwiches. So, hey, we surpassed my goal. I bow down and thank all of you great people out there. We got 52 subscribers. We're just, and forget about the numbers. I'm happy about the numbers, but in the inspirational, spiritual stuff, I hope give you a little hope, give you a little confidence that if you're struggling with anything, that you can overcome them and deal with them more effectively. Okay. So that's what I'd love to accomplish on my channel. The numbers are fine, but you know, that's that. Oh, and there's a story where that Chupa guy, or the guy that was the crazy guy with the gun and everything, and I don't even know what that means, just some crazy nickname. And somebody might have believed he cooperated with some, and I was walking down the avenue with a friend of his, and a guy pulled up in one of those old Starsky and Hutch cars. Remember Starsky and Hutch? I'm dating myself, and he started shooting. And I had looked and seen him crawl up a side, and I already knew. I started running because no matter what, call me a wimp if it would have ended up being innocent, but I knew. And he shot in his leg. He shot him in the leg. Well, he hit his leg, and his bones were sticking out, and everything. I took off, and then they questioned me about that, and I said I didn't see nothing, because there's apartment buildings, and a lot of these people will just look out of their windows onto the Ave. A lot of Puerto Rican people and Italians back then, and there were a lot of witnesses, but nobody said nothing. I said, yeah, I was walking with him. I seen this car. I got out of there. 1 and 1 is 2, and I'm heading this way. So that was kind of a retaliation, because they have these webs, and this guy that I was with, we were both dating sisters, and he was treacherous. He was just a treacherous Puerto Rican dude, and hot-headed, and all of that crazy shit. So that West Side was a crazy time until I eventually got out of there. And I said it the same. I was trying to make money. Then I was under a microscope. I was on the radar. And I was like, no, I got to go out to the suburbs. Yeah, those detectives, I think at one time there was a bounty on one of them. Batman or Robin. They had a lot of nicknames. There were Spanish nicknames for them also. I don't know. And I think there was a bounty on them because, they busted a big cocaine thing, and it went awry. And I don't know the particulars, but it was real bad. And there was a strong network going from Western New York, New Jersey, all the way down to Florida. And maybe some bigwig somewhere down the line, figuring out what's going on. And it was all coming back to this Batman and Robin. And there was, I don't know how it was resolved, but when I got out of there, I don't want to know nothing else. But and the officer I was living over, nice guy, really nice guy, Marcelino, and very polite. We spoke. They had, when you walked through the side gate of our building, it was a metal gate. They had 2 what were like Doberman pinchers. And every time I open it, he's like, oh, they don't bite, or He was like, well, you got to get friendly with them because they were guarding the building. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with these Dobermans barking at me every time I come in here. Put a gate back in the backyard because I'm not going through this every day, bro. These dogs barking, these dogs, 2 of them. And he had them trained, of course. And I don't want to deal with that. No. So I appreciate the subscribers, and I just want to keep some content going. And I tried to fix the technical difficulties, and so the video's not skipping and freezing. And I'm glad you people put up with that. I really appreciate that. That, you know, I don't have a fancy introduction, no graphics, any of that kind of stuff. But I just do it the way I do it. And I'm glad I've achieved that level. I know they say, oh, 52 subscribers, that's nothing. That's something to me. Each and every one of you is important to me. I want to entertain you the best I can. I hope I could be entertaining. Jimi Hendrix. Surprise, surprise. And give some spirituality in there. What's so bad about spirituality? Don't you want to test the waters of things outside of the physical realm during your lifetime? Test those waters. Yeah, there's angels and demons. But I don't know if there's a way you can get the better of that in your life and lead a more fulfilling life, then why not? I try to tell people on my channel, don't be humanistic robots. And I went through my book yesterday. I went through the chapters, They Dead Missed. And you get a little more familiar with my life and stuff like that. But I said and stuff like that. I was trying not to say that. I think I said it 46 times in my last video. Jeez. So I really appreciate that. And I got another gangster story coming, and I hope you like it. It's going to be next week. And hang in there. These guys get older, and they made it. Maybe they had a couple bumps in the road, but they made it, and they're senior citizens, and they still are sheltered and reserved because that's the way they rolled their whole time. They know me, they love me, but they still don't like to share those types of things over a cup of coffee. You got your cup of coffee? And I understand that. And if a couple guys keep refusing me, I got to leave it alone. And I got a couple other sources, but I think I'm at the end of the road with them. And, you know, a lot of them are like, YouTube channel? Nah, JoJo. Nah, have you lost your mind? I just try to tell interesting stories. Well, it gets more views on the. Who cares about your channel and your views, JoJo? Who cares? Get the hell off of that damn channel. I understand that. But I'm gonna keep doing it. So that's that. So let's do a devotion. Maybe raise your spirits up, okay? Let's try it. It's the Jesus Calling book. Don't run. It's a daily devotion. Hey, Leon. I didn't see you there, buddy. I got some coming next week. I got some stories coming next week. Sometimes the police were gangsters. Sometimes the detectives were gangsters, brother. Who would have ever thought? So I don't even know what the date is today, the 19th. One devotion for each part of the, one devotion for each day of the year. It's one paragraph. I'm not trying to turn people into Bible thumpers and everything else, but we live in such a physical realm of touch, taste, vision, and everything else, and people think that's their only reality. Well, listen, folks, it's not the only. There's other forces out there in the world, and sometimes they encroach in on you. And if and when they do, and if they happen to be demons, I gotta fight back. I seen that spiritual warfare twice, and it was life or death. A friend of mine that was ready, they were ready to pull the plug on, and me when I was already dead. So I continually call you to closeness with me. I know the depth and breadth of your need for me. I can read the emptiness of your thoughts when they wander away from me. I offer rest for your soul as well as refreshment for your mind and body. Like a Gatorade, I need to be refreshed because I'm getting beat down a little by the world. As you increasingly find fulfillment in me, intimately, and other pleasures become less important. Knowing me intimately is like having a private wellspring of joy within you. This spring flows freely from my throne of grace, so your joy is independent of the circumstances. So while you're going through a lot of crap in the world, you have a spring of flowing from Christ and God, and you need to drink from that spring. Waiting for my presence keeps you connected to me, aware of all that I offer you. If you feel any deficiency, you need to refocus your attention on me. This is how you trust in me in the moments of your life. Not just only being prayer beggars when people are in a crisis and they're like, please God, really? Like God is just a tool. Jesus is just a tool. Oh, I'm sweating some stuff over here. I'm having some problems. Oh, guess what? I think there's a God in Jesus out there somewhere. I'm not sure, but let me ask him to help me. I don't make the rules, and maybe things happen and they don't happen, but that's a little weak. That's a little weak. That's like going around with your friends and stuff like that and acquaintances and then kind of giving them the brush off. But then when you're in need, it's like, hey, Bill, I need 1,000. Hey, Sally, can you help me out with this? And they're like, you don't roll with us. No, we ain't doing that. Just the way same relationship you might have. You got to build a strong relationship and then reap the benefits of that. I don't make the rules. I don't know how it all works, but it's common sense. That's all. People running around loose in the world. They ain't got nothing better to do. They'll make a meal out of some wide-eyed kid, and you need someone to get after you. So there you have it. A brand new child. Yeah, a couple of JoJo gets a little crazy. I appreciate my support, Leon. And I do have some crazy things. And I got to be careful also. I got to be careful about such matters. And there's just things that obviously I ain't going to talk about. I never would, I gotta just go to a certain limit, and then that's that, because you can get caught up in stupid shit, and I had nothing to do with it. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Anything I heard, everything was after the fact. Everything was after the fact. And even then you didn't know what was what. Who the FBI tries to manipulate everything. And then everybody else that you might know is closed mouth. And then if there's gossip, it's gossip. Because let me tell you something. A lot of times people would put a lie or gossip out there to test the waters and flush somebody out of the woodwork. You understand? They're working on human behavior and human psychology, and they would be cute, and the FBI might pit people together and use false information and statements and everything else. So it gets very convoluted, and they try to pit one person against another person by saying, oh, well, you know what, we have intelligence about this or that, and they're bluffing, and it had never even happened. And whether it's true or not, it's going to make a person paranoid against an associate or whoever. There are no rules. There's no rules when it comes to all that. I believe they covered for Sammy the Bull. Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of these people have passed away. I'm 59. They might have been 10, 15, 20 years older than me. A lot of these guys never made it to 60 years old, let alone 70. There's only a couple dinosaurs out there now. And I try to remember these stories the best I can. I try to summon some outside help, but some of these guys, they're like, no, I wish my godfather was still living. And I have some stories that he told me. And about Mike and John Gotti and Sammy the Bull and them guys. And you know, in that movie Goodfellas, I talked about it before, Leon, that they had the Joe Pesci guy, Tommy DeSimone, I believe it was. And Joe Pesci was little. I believe Tommy DeSimone was big and burly, just like Jimmy the Gent. James Conway, the Robert De Niro character. And I know he was bigger because I saw him in prison. He's a big 6'3", 260. But that was all Hollywood. That was all Hollywood shit. That was all that kind of stuff, so. Yeah, you're watching Goodfellas. They had made other prior hits on that airport. Prior to that, they had hit that airport up a couple times for money, jewelry, furs, whatever cargo was coming in. That was their ATM machine. Yeah, that was and the guy in one of them, somebody was sweating. Somebody was sweating in there. One of the criminals sweat, and they lifted their mask up, and they had a guy tied, and they saw the guy's face. And because there was no evidence, they had no evidence. They knew the Lucchese family probably was in on it, and they were killing off all the people that participated in it. But they knew how Jimmy the Gent rolled, and they knew how they liked to hijack and rob certain things. And then Some of the other families were pissed off because they were supposed to get the approval to do that in whatever turf and whose turf was the airport on and all that crazy stuff. But they had hit that a few times prior, 2 or 3 times prior. And they got a guy in there who actually told them about the big mice. They whacked him too. They whacked everybody. and that's that. But Jimmy the Gent was the Robert De Niro portrayal. He had a real interest in life. I did the childhood story on him, and that was what I picked up from it. And yeah, I'm gonna do some of those next week. Yeah, was that time he lifted? Leon knows. See, my memory gets a little foggy. I'm just trying to put things together. That was Tommy. Jeez. Oh, wow. Joe Buddha, Tommy roast beef. Tommy roast beef. I thought Tommy roast beef got whacked. Well, he was bragging, I believe. Was that the dude that was bragging and look at all this stuff? I can't remember. I think that was his character. Yeah, they got hit. They got hit. That Jimmy the Gent was, wow, man. I mean, they make some gangsters look like altar boys. They were already bad when they were just running regular rackets. Now, how ruthless can they get when they just made a score for 3 million, 5 million, 7 million? Oh, the Werner was the inside guy. Yeah, and man, one of the most fascinating tales in America that happens to be a gangster story. And well, people like it. People like that. Leon, you're my information man. You're my information man. You gotta set me straight if I get off the road a little, buddy. But yeah, and Leon, you're here and everything, and you're cool with me, and stay strong and be the king that you are, because I want to be that guy also. I want to be that guy that, come on, we're a family. And maybe that's a little mushy. I'm sorry. I'm not a hardcore dude. I'm not hardcore. But I do appreciate my people. And so I got to get out there and do my homework, because my oh, that's cool. Yeah. See, I'm almost 60 years old. And I was a teenager, 20s, 30s. And yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. You know my story. When I overdosed, I came back to life. So that's all. I do, I want people to stay strong. I want people to stay strong, enjoy their lives, because mine was taken like that. Mine was taken in a split second. And then now I'm alive again, and it's just like, time is precious. Time is precious. People are living like they're going to live to be 200, and they never stop to realize what's really important in life. So I'm not the end all information on what people need to do and what's important, but I try to make open some people's eyes. And that's fine with me. So I gotta run. Leon, thank you, brother, for support me and keep me informed or something. And if you got an idea or anything for some content, I'd be happy to take it, because you know, I might say some things that might not be according to facts, because there's so much crazy information that you might think is factual. It's just like Mike Francis, Sammy the Bull, and all that, you know. And you know, who wants to catch them in a lie or whatever? You know, if I said something that was wrong about a person in a family or this or that, well, I made a mistake, or that's that. But you could keep me on point and say, hey, Jojo, you're wrong. You better check and see what's in that damn cup of coffee, because you're wrong about that. And I'm open for that. So thank you once again to my viewers. And Leon, my right-hand man. I got my capo. Leon, you're my capo. Yeah, we'll do that down the road and everything. I'm trying to get settled in a little, and then I need the technical stuff, because I used to have a high IQ once upon a time, but yeah, that's all right. And I really don't want stuff like that to turn into a bashing, which is the motivation for a lot of people. You know, Leon, I'm not here to discredit other Mafia Channel stories. They could discredit me all they want. They could say, because I was nobody. So I was nobody. So yeah. Yeah, no bashing with us. I got you. Just be entertaining. And if I could answer things with my memory, that's all right. And that's cool. That is cool. So we'll get there. We'll get there, brother. And I gotta run, and I appreciate you. I really do. And I appreciate all my viewers and subscribers. And geez, I got more subscribers in a week than I did in 3 months. That's all right. But I would like those viewers and subscribers at least to pay attention to the spirituality aspect, to not give up and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're just going to stay on the train, and wherever it takes us to, you know, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. I'm confident. You're confident. And there's nothing that we can't do. So let's stay on the train, and yep. And have some good stories and raise our spiritual level up, and see where that goes. We all want to have better lives. It doesn't mean mansions and Benzes and bling and all that. We're all going to die. We better make a deposit in our spiritual bank, because when it comes D-Day and you got nothing in your spiritual bank, and it's like, I never made a deposit, don't go being up there, please God and please Jesus and all that. God forgive me, folks. So I used to get real pissed off on my videos and talk shit and talk smack to the viewers and everything else. I can't do that anymore. I can't do that anymore. I was doing Facebook videos and they censored me, and I don't even mess with them. I don't even share these videos to Facebook anymore. I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't want they're up my ass for a long time. And I'm not getting political about nothing anymore. Nothing. Whoever you vote for, whoever you rock and roll with, Democrat, Republican, I ain't getting caught up in that nonsense. There's other things I can focus on more directly to me and my viewers. So, all right. I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, you know, you got to follow a certain platform. And if you go against it, that's all. I did one political statement that I thought was kind of innocent, and I got a warning. You get a warning, and then you get 3 strikes on YouTube. I got 1 warning for something I mildly said, and I understand where they're coming from. So I still got 3 strikes left, and I'm staying in the batter's box. I'm not going there with no political stuff. Well, I don't need it. I don't need that to enhance my channel. I don't need it. So, excuse me. So, all right. Thank you for your support, Leon. Keep me on point when I get some information a little screwed up and everything. And I appreciate that. And I guess I'm going to be bold. And we got 52 subscribers. I guess I'm going to be bold and look for 100 subscribers by Christmas. I might be going way out on a limb, but if we don't get it, that's fine too. So I don't stress all the time. I have been stressing. Hit the like button, share, comment, and all of that kind of promotion. And if a person does it, they do it, and I appreciate it. But if you don't, you don't, and we're going to keep rolling on anyways. Oh, all right. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. So, football's coming. Yep, football. Baseball, what happened to the Yankees? Whatever. They don't pay my rent. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan. You know how those old gangsters used to say, why are you tripping on that? They don't put food on your table. They don't pay your rent. You pay $100 for a cheap seat. They're like, it's like trying to say you're a sucker for being a fan. You can't just be a fan and pay your money. Well, that's their belief. So thank you, Mr. Swan. Be the kings and queens of your world. You know how we do it. Stay great. Stay strong. And don't ever give up. We're going to rise up. So hang in there. Have a great weekend. And I'm going to get some stories together. And I'll catch you then. Thanks for your help, Mr. Leon Swan. And we'll get to you real soon. And I appreciate it. Stay strong. All right. We got this. Thank you for my subscribers and viewers. Share, like, and comment. All right. I'll catch you then, folks.